Chapel stands and down the road. Bounced off the canopy. Up.
On the roof of the stands, of the canopy, all of that good stuff. Big sixes being hit right there, and sixes being hit right here on Radio Azad, where your voice matters. I'm your host, Rizwan. Welcome to the Sports Spotlight for another Sunday morning, 10 to noon. We get together as we shine the spotlight on all aspects of the sports world. And right now, as is often the case, not always the case, but often the case, we get things going, we get things cooking by shining the spotlight brightly on the cricket oval. And to discuss those things with me, I've got my good buddy and a wonderful cricket mind, Rahul Vats. Rahul, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Very good morning, everyone. I'm good. How about you, Rizwan?
Doing really well. Well, as a sports analyst, as a sportscaster, I'm doing really well. As a sports fan, especially of cricket, especially of Pakistani cricket, not so much. Not so much. Hey, let's dive right in. Like, rip the band-aid off here, right? Um, I had look, England is a strong side. England is strong at home. I expected this to be a difficult series. But Pakistan's tour of England, that first test was just a disaster, just an absolute disaster. What happened? I understand there was no Babur there, but come on, man. Like what was that? What did the Pakistani team show here? Or was it more about England just dominating?
So I, touched upon this last week. The problem that Pakistan team had was they don't have outright fast bowlers right now, which is a very weird thing to say because Pakistan have always produced some of the best fast bowlers in the world.
Yeah.
Um, if you look at England, they had not played a single spinner in that match. I mean, even if they did not use the spinner. They used four fast bowlers: Ollie Robinson, Josh Dunn, um,
Archer.
Jofra Archer, and Gus Atkinson. They're all capable of bowling 140 plus, 145 plus, uh, you know, um, speed balls, and that's that's what was the downfall because Pakistan team right now, even though they have Kain Shah, they have Naseem Shah, they have Haris Rao, but they are not playing Test cricket so much. Shaheen
Mhm.
Shah is the only person who was playing Test cricket, up until a year ago, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
But
it was about 15, 16 months, I guess, was the last time. But yeah, no, don't have any fast bowlers on the attack for sure.
so that's the point, right? And they the bowlers that they used was 130, 120 kind of bowlers.
Yeah. I mean, it was Muhammad Abbas, Muhammad Ali, Ali Usman, even Khurram Shahzad. Khurram Shahzad can get a little pace going, but yes, all spinners. And as it turned out, look, Ali Usman took 5 wickets, but it took him 24 overs to take those 5 wickets, right? On the flip side, as you mentioned, the bowlers that England had: Ollie Robinson, 18 overs, 51 runs, three of those maiden and 5 wickets, 2.83 economy. Josh Tong was a little more expensive, 9.1 overs and 46 runs. So an economy above 5.01, but he also took 5 wickets. And yeah, so basically what that did was it limited Pakistan right off the bat. You know, I um, I think the match started on Wednesday. I want to say yeah, I think it was Wednesday is when it started, and it ended on Wednesday. I was I do the music show Wednesday nights, Chandni Rate, right? And the show right before mine is Umair and Uzair's Nehle Pedala, and they're usually finishing up when I come in. And as we greeted each other, what I said to him was, I knew the match was going to begin today. I did not know that it was going to end today. Because for all intents and look, I've seen miracles happen in Test cricket, but for all intents and purposes, I knew the match was done when the first session lasted less than the first full day. In 48.1 overs, Pakistan was all done at 171. That's just not going to cut it. Not in today's Test cricket, not in any day's Test cricket, but definitely not in today's Test cricket. Definitely, absolutely not against England in England. So as it turned out, we'll talk about the rest of the scoring. But as it turned out, I was absolutely right. The match was over. Not only could Pakistan not muster anything with the bat, whimpering out at 171, then they couldn't. Those bowlers that you mentioned, the spinners that you mentioned, couldn't really. Yes, Ali Usman got 5 wickets. Yes, Khurram Shahzad even got 3. Yes, they got England out before 90 overs on the penultimate ball, before 90 were complete. So 89.5 overs, but gave up 409 runs, a run rate of 4.55. So England did exactly what England intended to do with the bat here, right?
Yeah. I mean, their batsmen on those English conditions are really good. Pakistan team batting is another, brittle point of Pakistan team right now. And I don't want to go deep into what they did, but all they had to do was stick around like
Yeah.
the England team did. They need to have a player like Joe Root. They need to have a player like Harry Brook, and they did not have those kind of players. And that was another thing.
That was the difference. Yeah. So, if we thought Pakistan's first inning was bad, so after giving up 409 to England, they came back and just even worse. 37.3 overs. They were all done at 135. Just pathetic. And again, Ollie Robinson, Jofra Archer, and Josh Tongue, each with 3 wickets. Yeah. And it's just, ho hum. A 5-day test that lasts about 2.5 days, and England wins by not just 103 runs, but 103 runs and a whole inning. Just an absolute domination by England, an absolute submission by Pakistani cricket. I don't know. As I said, I was apprehensive, but I had some hope. But at this point, the hope part is gone for this second test coming up. That begins, I think, this week on Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Wednesday. So there's talk that Babar might be back or Babar will be back. I think it's still more on the might side. But do you see much changing if Babar does come back for the second test?
So again, batting wise, something might change, but the real problem and the one of the key things in Test cricket is the ability to take 20 wickets,
Mm-hmm.
and that won't change. Uh, I think if they play on a wicket that spins a bit, which is what has been said about the English pitches right now, because their summers were really rough and the pitches are dry. So the pitch is expected to take turns, but
Yeah, I mean, it's
obviously,
going to be, it's going to be at the Lords, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So obviously the pitch curators in England, they are going to water the pitch. They are going to make sure that the trouble with English pitches spinning for English team, because they did not have any really good or awesome spinners, don't come into play. Even if the pitch is thin, I think they have two, Joe Root and Dan Lawrence, who are really good on spinning pitches.
Mhm.
Joe Root has taken a lot of cycles bowling on pitches which spin. So I don't really see a way out for Pakistan to get back into the test match. If they have to do it, they have to do it on the back of their spinners on a spinning pitch.
Yeah. Um, I mean, look, I don't either. So Pakistan, I just checked. They still have not announced their squad yet. So there's still hope that Babar's there. There's still hope that Babar's inclusion infuses enough energy, enough of a jolt to the whole team as a whole, to do things differently. And in theory, that's why, as sports fans, that's why we play the games. That's why we watch the games. That's why we follow them, because there's still a chance, right? As Jim Carrey famously said. Um, it's a three match series. They lost the first, so in theory, they can still win the next two. But in reality, I just don't see that happening. If it's going to happen, it needs to happen right off the bat. Whether England wins the toss or whether whoever bats first, if it's England, Pakistan needs to attack and get wickets and limit them. Like it can't be, if England bats first, you cannot give up more than 350 runs to them, because I think you will lose the second test if you do that. If you bat first, you cannot be done before at least 350 to 400 runs if you're Pakistan, because again, you have to change the tone, right? Cricket, especially the extended cricket, the original format, the test. It's a match of will, right? It's not just a match of skill, it's a match of will. And if you don't impose your will on the opponent right off the bat, then the rest of the 4 days are going to be long, long days for you. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Once in a while, you'll see some dramatic shift, but most of the time in this format, that first day, those first couple of sessions are really, really important, whether you're batting or whether you're bowling. That's just the way it goes. So we'll see. We'll see on Wednesday if Pakistan can do anything different against England. Let's swivel the spotlight just a tad, shall we? Not much, just a tad, because we also have another South Asian team engaged in a very different for the South Asian team results series. India's tour of Sri Lanka going on right now. So we talked about last week how India had I think they were in the middle of, if I remember correctly, match had just started. So yeah, it finished, and it finished by quite a bit. Look, Sri Lanka tried to make a little bit of a comeback in the second innings by getting India all out at 193, and then getting to 206, but like not much. I mean, India won by 165 here. So not much doing. And we had talked about in that first inning, the youngster, Devdutt Padikkal, right, who scored 167 off of 230 deliveries that he faced. He actually came back and did meh in the second inning, right? 44 off of 75 deliveries. Not great stuff, but still, that combines to almost 200 runs in the match, over 200 runs. Yeah. So he got to 211 between the two innings. That's a pretty good debut in Test cricket, isn't it?
It is. I mean, David Padikkal, it was actually the third match, but it was his maiden century.
I see.
Yeah. So on this side, one of the things that I, loved about the team was that first inning, okay, it rode on the century by Devdutt Padikkal, uh, half century by Dhruv Jurel, and the half century by KL Rahul, which we talked about last
Mhm.
week. But the thing was, the match were losing really, large number of overs due to rain. And there was a chance that this will become a draw unless, India were able to put in Sri Lanka to bat for a little bit. And that's what they did. In the second inning, nobody really cared about their wickets, and they were going on an all-out attack. That was the plan, and they all gave up their wickets. No disrespect to the Sri Lankan bowling, but everybody who heard Indian team, who heard any expert on the cricket who was talking about the second inning of India, they said that the Indian players played selflessly. They did not go for their records, but they went for making sure that their bowlers have enough time to get Sri Lanka out. And that did happen. But coming back, look at the innings of Pant. He is the kind of player I always love in Test cricket because when it's not expected, when the conditions are really difficult, he scores run at a pace that nobody, nobody, does.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, look, especially in that second inning when he scored 66 off of 69 with 8 4s and 2 6s, strike rate of almost 100, 95.65. So yeah, absolutely, very very different than everybody else in that inning.
Yes, and again, I mean, there have been talks based on Rishabh Pant's form, especially Rahul Dravid is saying that Test cricket needs players like Vaibhav Suryavanshi. So just think about that kind of a scenario. Vaibhav Suryavanshi hasn't played a lot of red ball cricket as of now, but he's right now in the tournament, the Lip Trophy, which is happening in India, playing red ball cricket. And if he does well, there would be a compelling case of giving him the debut, just like Sachin Tendulkar got when he was 16 something years old. So hoping that what English team was doing with baseball cricket can rub off on other teams, especially on India, so that they become even more dominant.
Man, if Vaibhav Suryavanshi comes into the test format as well, it's game over, right? He's pretty dominating in the on the T20 side already, and he's played a couple of matches ODI now, right? If I remember correctly,
He just played T20 cricket right now,
it's
no
only
ODI,
T20. Okay,
and but he is expected to play ODI before the Cricket World Cup next year to see if there is a place for him in the ODI side for the Cricket World Cup.
I don't see how there is not a place for a player like Vaibhav Suryavanshi in any format of cricket, right? But I understand they still have to go through the motions. They still have to make sure that they've done their due diligence. That's what good teams, good franchises, good organizations do. Nobody gets a free pass. Everybody has to earn their spot. So I get it, but man, oh man, what a player that kid is, and I just don't see any format of cricket that doesn't have a place for Vaibhav Suryavanshi. So it's going to be very very interesting. All right. Uh, what else? I'm trying to
So,
feed you this. What else stuck out to you? The
so,
lover of bowling.
so let's just quickly touch base on the second cricket test match that's going on between India and Sri Lanka. Again,
Wait,
the
wait,
same
wait, wait.
story.
I want to go there, but I do want to hear your thoughts on that first match, Manav Suthar.
Uh, so, uh, the thing about Manav Sutar that impressed me most was the way he has been bowling. He's completely opposite to how Jadeja bowls. Jadeja bowls fast, constantly on a pitch, and he can continue to, just go to that good length, keep bowling, keep bowling, keep bowling,
Hmm.
and make batsmen made mistakes. Right? Manav Sutar is, I wouldn't say that much more attacking. Jadeja is like a constant, you know,
Just going after you,
yeah,
attack,
going at
yeah.
you at same thing, making sure you make a mistake, force those mistakes out. But Manav Suthar is that kind of a classic spinner. I read this and I saw him. He's like a player like Bishan Singh Bedi, Sunil, I'm forgetting his name, back from 90s in India, who used that flight, that depth, that ability to change their variations to make them being able to take wickets. So he really does the classical spinners thing to force mistakes out of batsmen. And that is why he was so successful on this pitch, because he outdid Prabhat Jaisurya, who is one of the best spinners right now in the world and has been doing it for a while. But he outdid Prabhat Jaisurya with the kind of bowling Prabhat does, especially in Sri Lankan conditions.
Yeah.
And he is a person to look for the future.
Yep. No, I knew you would want to talk a little bit about him. Due to your love for bowling and what the bowlers do, the chess game that they have to play with the batsmen. Hey, before we move on to the next match, really quickly, I got to tell our listeners about Zohra Mavani. Yeah, if you've been injured, your life can change in an instant. You need someone who understands you, your language, your background, and your community in a situation like that. Someone who will stand up for you and fight for what is right. Attorney Zohra Mavani of Mavani Hernandez Law Firm, PLLC, proudly represents families across DFW and Houston in car accidents, truck accidents, rideshare injuries, workplace injuries, wrongful death, and much, much more. With over a decade of experience, Attorney Zohra Mavani believes you are more than just another case, but that you actually deserve a voice. If you've been hurt, Attorney Zohra Mavani fights for you. Call now at 469-494-3990 for your free consultation, or visit the Voice of Texas, www.mavanihernandezlaw.com. Attorney Zohra Mavani, Texas ki Awaaz. All right, let's get back to, in the last 2.5 minutes, let's get to the second test that started yesterday. The first day is in the books. 85 overs the Indian team ate up, 300 runs they scored, and only 5 wickets that they lost. So there's still some damage to be done, and of course the major damage done was once again Devdutt Padikkal. What more can you say, man? Just another century, and not just another century, but eating up 193 deliveries for it, right? Making the opposition bowl and getting your team runs. That's the name of the game in the long format, isn't it?
It is. It is. So one of the things about Indian players who are coming out, not just that they are coming out of IPL, they are also playing the red ball cricket, grinding it out, and making sure that they are forcing the selectors to select them. Historically, players from India, players from Madhya Pradesh and some of the other states were not getting selected because of whatever reason. It was very tough for them, especially because Mumbai, Delhi, Punjab, Karnataka, the players were dominating the Ranji Trophy scene. But now, Jammu and Kashmir won the Ranji Trophy for the first time in the history of Ranji Trophy. Madhya Pradesh won it a couple of years ago, and players from those countries, players from those states are getting selected on the basis of how they are performing in the Ranji Trophy and other domestic tournaments. Devdutt Padikkal came into Indian team on the back of some really amazing performance in IPL, but also the 4-day cricket, the red ball cricket. So, I mean, he's just proving that he belongs.
Yeah.
In
hey,
the Test cricket.
Real quick, 20 seconds because we've got to take a break. What's the word on Pant leaving hurt, retired? Was it just a small thing, or is that bad?
It's a small thing. He was ready to bat yesterday itself. He was padded up, but he couldn't bat yesterday because of whatever reason. Like he was not sent, more as a precaution, and he is going to bat. Today
Okay.
when he comes back to when the another wicket falls.
Yeah, he'll be back. Okay, good. Yeah. All right. Well, Rahul, we ran through this. Thank you so much. We are at time, so we're going to wrap things up. We will have you back next Sunday. We'll talk more cricket. We'll have results from this second test of India-Sri Lanka, and the second test between Pakistan and England should be finished by the time we're here. And hopefully it's more of a positive result than more of the same. All right, Rahul, always a pleasure. Have a wonderful day, man.
You too. Thank
you, sir. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with more Sports Spotlight as Manny and Patrick Shepard join me as we swivel the spotlight over to the NFL. You're listening to the Sports Spotlight right here on Radio Azad.
This is Radio Azad, streaming in Dallas, Fort Worth and all around the world.
आप सुन रहे हैं रेडियो आजाद, हम सफर, हम जाद,